Welcome to Trading Lounge and the European markets for Monday the 17th of January. And just before we start, I'm just doing this in front of each video today because the little survey that we sent out the other week, just wanted to let folks know what's of interest and what's not, and this is pretty much how it sort of panned out here. So really what I want to do is I want to, sort of steer the service to what people really need. And because I've only got a certain amount of resources, so to speak, to put in a particular direction. So some of the things that came out, people wanted stock trades. I do mention trades in the US big stocks, but Alessio is going to look at stock trades in the work that he's doing, and he's working through a stock list of about 120-30, and that stock list is really from Cathy Wood's ARK Invest stocks. So we've pulled out all the stocks from those, and we do technical analysis on them because she's done the hard graft and made the stock selections for her ETFs, and so I know at that point, at least fundamentally speaking, that those stocks are the best in those particular areas, and they are innovative, disruptive stocks. So, nanotechnology, 3D printing, robotics, AI, all of those sorts of things. So we're also want to improve the website so that stocks can be found a bit better on that list there as well. So we've got that work to do. So commodities were a bit more popular than I thought that they were. So normally I would sort of make 6 videos a day, but sometimes it's a little bit overwhelming to do that. It's a lot of sort of focus, and so I get a bit tired towards the end. So I normally sometimes don't do the video for the commodities, but I can see that it's of like a lot of interest, so I need to do that. So I'll do that, and I'll put a little bit more effort into it as well. We can see that the Forex is not there that much, so we've got quite a strong Australian client base and strong US base and European base. So I'm going to put the US dollar index into the commodities videos I've been doing. The Australian dollar I'm going to put into the Australian video, and the Euro US I'll be putting into the DAX video, and I'll sort of start to make that a bit more European as such. But the Forex charts will go at the end of the month. And also the indices charts that we put in the indices, that they will go as well. I'll try and figure out how to improve the indices videos. The crypto would be is going along quite nicely. It would be nice. The feedback was to have weekend updates, so I can look at possibly doing that, and also I think some intraday videos would be good through the US session. So I may need to find a good analyst that can help us, Elliott Wave analyst that can help us with that in the US. I mean, last year we made some improvements by getting Kitty upon, who is in Thailand doing the crypto. So he's doing a good job, and we found Alessio, and he does a pretty good job as well for the stock. So we have made improvements last year, and we want to make improvements this year, and that's the direction that we're sort of heading in. So yeah. Just wanted to let you know what we're doing and what the feedback was. Alrighty, and thanks for the feedback as well, because without it, we're just flying blind. So it's just nice to know. It's good to know. Then we can make it better all round for everybody. So thanks for doing that. Really appreciate that. So this is the pattern that we're looking at for the Euro stock and the DAX. The FTSE's doing its own thing, and so this particular pattern is what we're seeing on just quickly on the US markets. The S&P 500 here, so wave 3 up here with an A wave, a B wave, 5 waves down here, and 3 waves back up here. We can force 5 waves up here in terms of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, forcing it there. But it's a pretty good case now that we've got 5 waves down here. And we can see on this here, this top here is lower than this one. But on the European markets, it just sucked us in and made another high above here and then dropped from that point. So let's just go to the hourly chart here on the S&P just to give you an idea what we're looking at. So from wave B up here, we're counting all this down as wave 1, and then an A and a B and a C for wave 2, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. It's reasonably clear that we've got 5 waves here. Sure, you could bring this down. You could put this up here as wave 1 and wave 2 here. But you would have to force wave 1 and you would have to force wave 2 into some sort of WXY kind of thing into that space. So it will become clear very shortly, but obviously we could go long above here, but we've also got a bit of a triangle pattern too, so we could end up just getting 5 waves up here and then coming down into a triangle pattern. But what I wanted to talk about here was this 5 waves down here. We're looking for a move back up here as an A wave, a B wave and a C wave back up here, and then rolling over from that point. So you can watch the US video on that. Even if you don't trade, it's kind of nice to know where we are with that situation. So I'm pretty much sort of pasting that situation here as well. So let's just, I think I might just go straight to the tick chart for this. So yeah, we made a new high above this previous little high here in this case. So let's just go to the tick chart and pick that up. Okay, didn't need that much data, but so what we were looking at last time for this and the DAX, I had this here as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave to this point, and we made another little high here after all of this here. So this is all corrective, so I just need to put this in here as a because it's got 3 waves in that move here. So I'll put it into there as a corrective pattern as 1 and 2 and 3, and you can probably do a triangle in here as well, but it doesn't really matter whichever way you count it, wave 3, 4 and 5 here. Now there is a good case for 5 waves down here, as you can see as well. So the first move down here, wave 1, pulling back 50-60%, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for the third wave, 4th wave and 5th wave here. So once again we're looking at here as the A wave, the B wave and a C wave moving up here. Now it's pretty high at the moment for all of this in the box, so we'll give it a chance. It may go higher, but there's a lot of supply, a lot of resistance over here, so we'll just wait for the turn, see how that turns. We'll spend more time on this with the DAX, but that's pretty much sort of how it is. I mean, obviously at this point you could go long above this top here. That at that point would be wrong at that point, but it's hard to get this as a corrective move down, and you know I can force that as 5 waves, but yeah, I don't know, it's just like I said, it's forcing it, so we don't particularly want to do that in this case. So let's cruise along and have a look at the what do we do next? I'll do the FTSE next. The FTSE's, so last time we spoke, we're looking at, you know, sort of a bigger bullish picture. That one, this one, sorry about that, this one here. And then once again, this is part of an even bigger bullish picture with looking at all of this as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and pushing up here and having wave 1 up here, then back for wave 2, which was part of a yet bigger picture as well. I just want to have a look at it to remind myself. Looking at this as wave 1 up here and back for wave 2, and there's good cause for that. So I'll just squash that in a bit more, pick up a bit of history here. So wave 4 over here with 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 for 1. And back for 2 here. I mean, we could have had wave 4 here and then going up for wave 5 and having a top here. But we're really, as soon as we take out this top of this B wave here, this thing here, that top there, as soon as that's breached, then that can't be the case. And the only way to look at this is up for 1 here and back for 2. And there's a really nice ABC correction. It's short, sharp and swift, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Even though it was COVID. Yeah, I mean, everything else fits quite nicely, really, for this. So yeah, I can look at this in different ways. I still need to resolve this a little bit, but I can look at it this way with wave 3 and 4 there, or I can go and look at it. This is kind of a bit of a preferred count here, really, with 3 and 4 here, and then 1 and 2 here, and then going up for this. Either way I look at it, we're going up. What I wanted to do today, though, is just go back to my 4-hour chart here for a moment. This is not the count this is the old count basically here. So it's slightly different. We could also put this wave 4 over to this point here, I grant that, but it still doesn't really matter. We'd still look at this as wave 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2. So it is building there. But what I wanted to do is, you know, on the S&P and the stock 50 that we had a look at, we were just looking for a little wave 2 to push up a little bit higher and then roll over at that point. Well, I just want to see how this rocks for the Monday and the Tuesday, and see if we just get another high and it rocks over here, because from here I got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and going up for 5 here. So that would leave us with a bit of a first high above the 75, because our aim was to always go long above here, and it's starting to work out like a bit of a classic trading levels pattern, where we got the arrival, the reaction here in 3 waves, and then 5 waves up here for the first high above the level. So I really want to see how that plays out, and then we can look to go long above here, because this might come back down further than I think. So we just need to be a little bit, want to be sure to be sure. It's quite a nice little pattern here at this point in terms of being, you know, resistance to gaining support here. But now you can see that 1 and 2 here, and it's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for the third wave, fourth wave, and a push up here a bit further. So I'll just let this top out and pull back, and then we'll have a nice setup on the long side for that. Let's have a look at the DAX and spend a bit more time on that as well here. So yeah, look, even though I got the top a little bit wrong in all of that, I think we're better off staying with this for the time being. But it does mean that we can go long above this high here now, because it is above the 61.8%. But we still got that impulse wave down through to here, so this is a bit of a guide stick for me. And yeah, I mean, maybe it can be wave 1 up there. We have an A wave and a B wave and a C wave here, and then we go up. So I'll keep an eye on that as well. But we've got to bring the S&P 500 into the fold here as well. So we can look at it as wave 3 here with a WXY here for this, and then wave 1 and back for wave 2 and so on. So we'll be mindful we'll be careful how we tread through that. Let's just sort of cruise in. So this is how I had it last time we spoke on the 4-hour chart, but we got that little spike up there. So now in simple terms, I just need to put that there. It didn't happen on the S&P, but yeah. So really we're looking at this as being impulsive to the downside. I mean, normally I don't even like spikes. I probably wouldn't even move it really, but I know people start throwing stuff at me. So look, really here, all we need to do here is that we can go long above that high, right? That takes care of the long side situation. So really we want to see that the market's been snaking across this 16,000 here, and we want to see, if it retests this and drops. So we could go short below this one here or this one. So I'll just put it on this one here. There's a lot of support with all these opening closes here, but we can get just on this 4-hour chart, we can get pretty close to that. So we could just put that there, even if that's not your initial entry, it could be something that you can add to at that point, just being aware that it's there at that point. So anyway, cruising into the 1-hour chart, this is the way that we're looking at it. So looking at this as an impulse wave to the downside, and then an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave retesting. The 61.8% is going to be close to the 16,000. We can have a look at that on the tick chart. Yeah, so that's it. I mean, we've still got this sort of leading diagonal down here for this, if you would like to call it that. Yeah, this could be configured in a different way, but if we have the A and B here, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 at that point. On the cash market, it took out the high here too, but on the S&P it didn't. So we're just going to see how this is retesting. So an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave. Let's move into the tick chart. Is 10 enough? 10 is plenty. So yeah, a little bit awkward on the five-way structure coming down, as you can see. But let's just stick our heads in the sand on that one for the time being. And then this here would be the A wave, and ABC here for the B wave here, because there is a little five waves here. And this is how it stands on all the other indices as well. I was having a little bit of difficulty. So our 61.8% is 50 here, 61.8. So it's close to the 16,000. I was having a little bit of trouble with this here. I've got this here as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for this, and 1 and 2, and then this is 5 waves here. That's very clear. So I was thinking 3, 4, and 5 just for 1 and 2 here. I don't think it's just not right, though. I haven't sort of nailed it down here just yet. It's just a bit. This is throwing me out here. This little guy at the beginning here, because. I mean, it's clear to me we got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for that. So I'm not sure how to place this in here just yet. And maybe it's 1 and 2, maybe 1 here, an A and a B and a C for 2 here, but then 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. Yeah, it just doesn't add up right. So what I thought about, the way I thought I'd approach this is that in terms of trading it, I can see from this low here, right? I can see from this low that we could look at this as 1 and 2 here, and then up for 3rd, 3, 4, and 5 up here. So 16,000 is important, and then below that we've got group 2 here, 65, 72, and 80. And I was thinking that, well, normally if a market comes up in here, what it does is it comes up in here and then it sticks in here and has a little bit of a correction in here, and that correction there becomes the support, and then the market moves up here and then it comes back and it finds, this is support again here, and then, continues up again. That's what kind of normally happens. So I'm thinking that if the market drops, once the market's been up here, it's only just arrived here, and it could, pull back and do all sorts of things. But let's just assume for a moment that it gets up here. So it plays up here for a while, and maybe even goes up, maybe even goes above here and all the rest of it. But as soon as this number here, the 15,965, as soon as that becomes the retested resistance, then you can look to short it at that point. That would be the setup to go short at that point. And then you can use the other levels down here to add to the positions at that point. You could maybe be able to use some sort of trend lines through here as well, perhaps, to get a better thing. I'm just going to clean this up now, but that's what I was thinking is that, because I just haven't got this pinned down just yet for this. Don't need those in there. So if the market trades above here and then finds group 2 here as the resistance, then that can be the short trade setup at that point. That was the best way I thought about handling that, because I'm not sure about this yet. The penny hasn't dropped. Monday morning's always a bit sticky. So, yeah, that's it. And like I said, if you see the 16,000 as the support, you could probably go long at that point there as well, but you'd need the first high above the level at that. So the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and then some sort of ABC pattern here, and then you can look to go, get at least glean one position here, and if that triggers that, and then being this high up here, then we'd be going higher at that point. So anyway, we'll just see how it goes. The trick is not to get trapped. Alrighty, well, that's the DAX, and I'll just save that. And now we're going to have a look at the Euro US dollar. Okay, so last time we spoke, we were looking for, our preference was, we had this as wave 4 here, but and if that was going to be the case, we could have shorted it just here, but otherwise we're looking for it to move up to this level, which it has done. So we can just start making adjustments now. We can put that up there, we can get rid of that. One of the other things here that I was curious about before was having it's something that we've got to work out with the US dollar index as well. Do we have one more low or do we have two more lows? Because I'm starting to think that we may need to put this blue wave 4 here, which is minute degree over here, and then also change this here as well. So this disappears from this point, get rid of that. This goes here. This goes here. This goes here. This goes here. This one moves over to here because that moved up higher. And this goes here. We don't really need these little guys over here. We could use them a little bit later. So I'll just, anyway, they would be 1 degree. Oh no, that'd still be okay there. That in there, that there, this here, and then we don't need that, and then we bring this over to here. So we'll run this particular count for a bit. Don't need that, don't need that. Now we need to find a way in here as well. So I'll just delete that. Don't need that. We're still looking for downside though, because it's pretty clear here that this is corrective, you know. Let's just thinking if we can use any daily bar here to short this. It would be good if we get some sort of, you see it's closed up off its low here. It would be great if we get some sort of little move up here. So if we consider this 5 waves coming down here and we get some sort of move up here, then it leaves us, if we get that move up there, because we don't know if this move down here is actually finished, it could come a little bit lower, but if we do get a little bit of a move up there, well then we can look to short this low. And in fact we may be able to improve on that, because if we get a the next daily bar, if this is it here, I suppose the world's open, so we could put that there. If we do get that up there, then we can move this. If this trades up today, which I think it should, if it trades up, then we can put this green bar under this low here. Okay, so that's what you can do at that point. So I'm just going to go straight to the tick chart because I haven't had time to start working on the hourly and 4 hour and all that sort of stuff. So 100 ticks. Let's just bring the whole Monty in. So yeah, so over here I was thinking about the same as well. So I won't adjust this just now. We'll just keep, it won't hurt us to run 2 counts anyway until I become more confident in it. So last time we spoke, we were kind of looking at this as well, wave 3 here with an A wave here, and I looked at all this as a triangle pattern, and we put wave B right in over here, and it kind of turned out okay in a way because we don't really have 5 waves there, and this is corrective. So 1 and 2 here, and then 3 and 4 and 5 here. So we hit our target, and then we've turned down from here. I have to say, I had a look at this morning, and I'm just not quite sure. Some of it I can work out, you know, some of it, but some of it's a little bit, all of this here is a little bit jaggedy in here. I can see, you know, when I do open this up in here, I can see certain things in here that I recognise as wave 1s and 2s and 4s and so on. But I'm not quite sure about this volatility that's occurred here. So I need to ponder that a little bit further. But I thought the quickest way out would be that, if we rally into this box here, then what it leaves us with this as the low here to short. If it leaves this as the low, then that means that we should be able to get some other type of, we'll be able to start to work this particular pattern here. And you may need to do that, and you need to start looking at your levels. So you've got 4 here, and that's 4.5, so that's 5 there. So we'll need to this is the halfway mark here. Let's just, so that's where it should go back to. I just don't know if there's going to be another move down here first, And if it does come down, it's going to bounce off these old highs here in this trend line. It'll bounce off that, and then we can put this wave 1 here, and then look at this as wave 2 coming back. Or it may already be in there. It's just that it's a bit tricky to work this. It needs a fair bit of time to work that, to look at that. It looks like it wants to sort of rally up there, but we don't have an impulse wave here yet. We're going to be going a bit higher. That's impulsive. This is bullish correctives. That means we'll take out those tops there. It has taken out that top there. Is that sufficient? Probably not. So what we're trying to do is, we can pretty much, as the market moves up, we'll have these lows. Let's just assume that it moves up, and it may not. It could quite easily move down here first and then move up. But in whatever happens, in one way or another, we want it to move up, right? Because then we can start working it from the bottom up. So we can work it from this low, we can work it from that low, we can work the short from that low, and so on. Should you trade it up through there? Well, yeah, I don't see why not, if you're, depending if you're scalping and stuff. So that's sort of okay. I'd certainly bring in the levels. If you've got 14 here, then you've got, then here you can see you've got, if that's 14, then you've got 1, 2, and 3. That would make up group 1, wouldn't it? So that you can start doing, and then we've got 5 at that point. So then we can break it down between 2 and 3 here. There will also be 10 within that space there as well. So you'll go 1, 2, 3. You've got group 1 there, and then the midpoint 5, and then 8. And if you're talking 8, you're talking group 2. So you can start building your support and resistances, at micro levels within all of this. If this is 1 and 2 and 3 here, and 4 and 5 to here, then you're going to have a little ABC pattern back here and be left with that high to trade on. I won't go into that too much, but let's just in one way or another, let's assume that the market low is in here, and we'll be going higher. When we get to the box, be it now or be it another move down and get to the box, you'll know that you're in the box at that point, and then you'll know that you need to start looking for the lows to short at that point. So that's what we'll try and look for in the next session. I'll just see how quickly the euro moves within that time space. So yeah. Let me just also check from this low to this high. We're at the 50%. So yeah, there's going to be support here, not just because of the trend line, but because of where the Elliott structure is as well. So somewhere in here, we're going to see that bounce. I better move that because you know what I mean. We want to see that. We want to see the market move up, and then this is definitely impulsive in some. It's not overlapping wave structures. It's not corrective. Could it be an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave down here? Possibly, but yeah, we're still working with this larger wave 4. So So let's just wait for the ABC rally. That's really what we're looking for, some sort of A wave, B wave and C wave up here. And you can either draw a line through it at that point or short the low here. Or if you can see the 5 waves in wave C, which brings us close to that. The other, yeah, the 144 will also work in here as well. Yeah, this is a minor level, so now that we're working with micro levels in here, I'll have to try to code these, display them differently. So if that's a minor level and these are the sub levels, and then we're going into micro levels, we'll have to, so it makes it a bit clearer for everybody. So I'll just remove these, and we need to come up with another plan for those. So yeah, it's all about this number here then, the 45, the halfway between the 4 and the 14 and the 15 here. We can kind of see it, how important it is here. It became the resistance and the support here, and it never really established itself on that level. So, okay, I'll leave it all at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.